I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that?
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my phone. Happening right now in the Bronx.
ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا.
Are you taking videos?
Yep, I am. What happened? You want to ask me why I'm taking video?
Yeah.
Because I can't, because this is America. That's
I'm not
why.
saying don't take it.
Okay,
I said why.
okay. I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that to
You
you?
cannot do that.
Don't touch my phone.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is fucking America.
Now you have all these Islam men yelling Allah Akbar. I have a question for you guys. If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq?
We won't get a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time,
Who would you defend first?
We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you wouldn't defend America?
We would not defend America.
But you're American. But you live
at the
here in
same
America.
time, listen. At the same time, America is our country because we were born here. But in our Islamic book, we're not allowed to fight with people that are against our religion. So we just take up the jail time.
So you would
That's
not.
what we do.
So you would not defend America.
I would go to jail instead of fighting for America.
Send them back. Send them back immediately. As an immigrant to this country who was a citizen somewhere else, send them back. When you become a citizen into this country, that should be a loyalty test. That needs to be a loyalty test. They need to ask you, if we were to go to war, are you going to go and defend your old country that you left? Or are you going to defend the United States of America? And where does your loyalty lie? That needs to be asked to everybody that comes into this country seeking citizenship. And if you answer anything else except, yes, I will defend this nation, then go home. Go back home.
Speaker is Danielle Carter.
There you go. You got a black woman right there, black man. You got a black woman right there, black man with a black wife and 3 black kids and LGBT. You got 2 black ladies over there, black man, who just told you. You got a black man right here who just told you their properties are being taken. Black people properties are being taken by your guy, Obama. That's displacing senior citizens and black people, black man. Where's the I want you to stand up with us and do a press conference with us. When you gonna do it, black man, Brandon Johnson, since you're fighting white supremacy? All these black people said they reached out to you. That's a black man right there who want to get his kid, black man, since you so family oriented. Where can we get a press conference with you and these black aldermen? Can we get y'all to stand up with us? Because you're not really about that life, black man. See, it ain't about that. See, you a communist, you foreigners, and you a foreigner. And see, you communists and socialists think that we're going to allow you to come in Chicago, we're the true citizens born and raised here, and we're going to let a foreigner from Elgin come in and destroy our city? You thought that, right? It was fun. It was fun and games in the beginning. You thought that was going to happen, black man, but you got black women that's going to make sure that it don't. And the white man that's so racist, we got the white man that's racist, the ones helping us. So all this racial and division talk, black man, do something that's really destroying our community. Stand with us with the crime, black man. With the violence going on in our community, black man. All the abandoned buildings, the money that y'all stole that never made it to our communities, black man. Stand with us with that, black man. This is what you can do. Get rid of those illegals that you spent all that money on. and put those resources in our community. That's one of the budgets that you can do in that budget. Instead of taxing the rich, black men, but you are the rich. So you think that pension that you think you're going to get when you get out of office, that $1 million pension, millionaire Brandon Johnson, you think you're going to get that? No, you're going to go to jail, my boy. Black man, you're going to jail. President Trump, DOJ, we're calling on you. Black women, the beautiful black women that you talked about, we're calling on you to get this black man up out of office and lock this black man up. You think you just gonna ride in the sunset with that $1 million of pension off the backs of our plight? You think that's what's gonna happen? Black man, you and your black wife and black kids that's gonna run up in the sunset and go live good while we are right here in our community struck.
Still, the president is doubling down, saying, I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States.
I'm going to tell the Soros people, I'm going to tell the Democrats, I'm going to tell them all, run the white flag up right now. Run that son of a bitch up there. And you don't have to completely join us. I know you're cowards. But just give us the intel, quietly whistleblow, and we will pass over you. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt people just to feel powerful. But we will hurt you if you continue to hurt us.
The president says he will be ending federal benefits for non-citizens, denaturalizing migrants who he says undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who poses a security risk.
And evaluating those living here in the United States of America who were let in by the Biden administration and trying to figure out ways to send them back, right? Because there's too much crime, there's too much waste, too much fraud, too much abuse, too much violence. A lot of these people are not assimilated, and therefore they got to go back.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go, we were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision, and we would have left from Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they weren't. Many of these people are criminals. Many of these people are people that shouldn't be here. And many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that, we've taken a lot of them out of here. But they came in, legally, right? Yeah, I know, this deal, sorry. Many are wonderful, yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy, okay? They can't be happy. Because what's taking place between that, if you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota, and we got a lot of problems with the gangs, with all of the things taking place in Minnesota. We have an incompetent governor, we have a dope governor. They can't be happy about what's going on. And if you talk about the Afghans, there's a problem because so many bad ones came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no checking. They just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were. Yeah, do you want to ask a question behind?
Me? Hi, sir. Happy
Sure.
Thanksgiving.
Hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, he says we're getting a lot of them out, right? And that's what I love to hear, right? Inject that into my veins, right? A lot of them are going home. You gotta go home. It's too many of them here. That's just the reality of the situation, okay? And I'm telling you guys, the liberal media, they're gonna boo-hoo on and cry racism, hate bigotry. That's what they're gonna say. Democrats gonna campaign on this. Look, man, we have to reward the president for doing what we voted for, right? This is what people say they want, so we got to get out and vote and to make sure that the president is able to do this, right? Because what's going to happen is Democrats, they're going to campaign on this, and their lunatics are going to show up, and they're going to vote in order to keep these people in this country. And if you want to see President Trump continue to crack down on third world immigration, if people really care about this that much, right, which is, you know, what I see all on X, okay? People need to vote, okay? We cannot be lazy and be content with the president doing what he's doing and then not vote, right? Because Democrats are voting based off of this. Liberals are voting based off of this, right? The last thing that they want is for President Trump to crack down on illegal immigration or, I mean, mass migration from these third world countries. They don't want that. So they're going to get out and vote. We got to make sure we get out and vote in order to show them that, no, this is exactly what the American people want. And I just have to remind people of this because, again, this immigration issue is going to have an effect on our elections. There are people who are going to be motivated to vote based off this, right? And we have to vote in droves to show them that, no, this is where the American people actually stand on this issue. So I have to stress this in all of these immigration videos that I do because I want to see the immigration crackdowns. I think President Trump is doing an amazing job, right? But you know, there's this perception online that he's not doing enough, right? And then there's this perception that he's doing way too much. And so, you know, I'm just saying, ultimately today, we have to continue to vote for this because the president, I think, is doing all that he can do in order to get these people out.
It's an absurd argument, a literally absurd argument to think that you or me or anybody watching or listening to this deserves to have their income taken and taxed and given to someone who is not a United States citizen. It's a tough enough pill to swallow that we are taxed and it's given to anybody. Like, I fucking hate the fact that all my people and everybody that works for me gets taxed like a motherfucker and has to, like, be punished for doing the right thing, working hard and getting a job and trying to have a family and do all these things. And then these guys are fucking taxed half their money and it's given to people who are happy to just waste it and not contribute at all in society. That is something that cannot exist in a civil society. That was put in place long ago to create dependency on the government so that these people, these very people, this woman here and all of her friends would have voters. They would vote away from capitalism and they would eventually accept what they call socialism, which is actually just communism. 100%, bro.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers, but just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
Go ahead, Senator.
Yeah, there's no amount of service you can do that deems it right to call people illegals. You can serve 10 years, 20 years, no one gives a damn. That's not the point. The point is you're saying disgusting comments, and even if you want to spew hate in this committee, at least be factual. Undocumented residents are not draining our systems in the millions as you're claiming. That's complete bullshit.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
How did you and your brother get involved in this HSS scheme?
Fraud was a family affair for the Adows, as the two brothers have now pleaded guilty here in federal court to defrauding Minnesota's housing stabilization program out of millions of dollars.
Assad Adow, owner of Leo Human Services, admitted in court that his company ripped off taxpayers to the tune of $2.7 million, falsely claiming to help 250 people find housing.
How many vulnerable people did you leave sitting in a snowbank so you could line your own pockets?
It's not the first time Mr. Adow did not want to answer our questions.
People say you're not doing work, that you're billing thousands of dollars for work that's not being done.
Come on, man. Let's take the proper channels, man. I'm doing everything I am correctly.
Kara Levin Investigates first approached the BMW driving business owner last spring as we uncovered clients' claims of forged signatures and fraudulent billing.
I did not sign this legal document.
How would you describe that $14,000 that was billed to your Medicaid?
Fraud. On every level.
Assad's brother, Anwar, was running another HSS company also committing fraud called Liberty Plus out of the Adow family's Blaine home. When agents raided the property, they found stacks of cash, tens of thousands of dollars hidden under a mattress and in a suitcase beneath the stairs.
How much money did you move overseas?
As part of his plea deal, Assad admitted he used the money he fraudulently billed to buy property in Kenya.
What?
Both brothers face 4 to 5 years in prison.
This lady got deported back to Haiti after living in the United States for 42 years. And this is what her living conditions look like.
Girl, this the kitchen right here where people cook. You probably can't see it good. This the kitchen, girl. And girl, let me show you the bathroom. This is where you take a shower at. And let me show you where you use the bathroom at. You see that hole? Okay. Now, this where this young lady and her son, she pregnant. She let me stay until I can get out of here and get on my feet.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I kind of feel bad for her, but I know what y'all thinking, like, okay, well, she didn't do what she needed to do to get her citizenship, blah, blah, blah. But if she's been living here since she was 5 years old, she probably had no idea that she was supposed to do anything as far as becoming an actual citizen. I mean, that's a hell of a wake-up call, but I feel like this should also be a wake-up call to anybody who's actually from Haiti or anywhere in the Caribbean or anywhere around the world that looks similar to that, or where there's a good portion of their society that has to live that way. I feel like this should be a wake-up call for them, because this should show you that your people and your country of origin really needs help. It really needs some type of stability. Like she said, it's completely lawless out there. Like she said, she got raped her first week back. She said that there's like no government. People just run rampant. It's like hard to find food. Like there's no jobs. Like this should be a wake up call for people who are actually from Haiti, like, or any country that looks like that, because y'all flee, y'all come, y'all go here, there, and everywhere, but then you leave behind your country of origin. And I understand, like, and it's like, it's funny to me because it's not funny, but it's like, it's interesting to me because one of the jabs that they throw at Black America is, well, at least I have a home to go back to. But most of the people who say that, home looks just like what she showed us. So, I mean, that's not even a home that you even want to go back to. And I'm not saying that to be a bitch, but what I am saying is that it's going to take a lot of like strategic planning in order to get that country back on its feet, or to get it to be basically habitable at all. They need to flatten out that whole, everything there needs to just be flattened out, and they need to start from scratch. I don't even know if they're even going to be able to rebuild Haiti.
Yeah, so you say that, you heard that, because President Trump, again, has decided that he is going to crack down on immigration from these third world countries. And that leads me to this story we got to talk about here. Out of the Haitian community, right? The Haitian community, apparently, they are up on the list, right, of those who have to go back home, okay, as the U.S. ends their temporary protected status, and it looks like they're going to be out of here in early 2026. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Helping now, a blow to some within South Florida's Haitian community.
Tonight, the Department of Homeland Security announcing the end of protections for Haitians in the country with TPS. Local 10's Magdala Luisan is live in North Miami with the new developments that we are learning. Magdala, fill us in.
Yeah, so I'm learning from SANTLA, the organization, that they have been on it since they were aware that the current administration would be ending TPS for Haitian nationals. And because of this, they've been working with those Haitian nationals across South Florida over the last several months. And they tell me some of their clients were hoping this day would not come. SANTLA Executive Director Gypsy Metalis is one of many who got the notification. Temporary protected status for Haitian nationals will end early next year.
We were expecting this, and so no surprise there.
But I was still a little bit shocked that such an announcement would be made, would be publicized right on the eve of Thanksgiving.
The Department of Homeland Security put out a federal notice that says Haiti no longer meets the statutory requirements for temporary protected status, and Haitian nationals who have been in the U.S. need to leave.
Yeah, so you're talking about over 350,000 people. 350,000 people. Yep. I mean, hey, they got to go. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to go make Haiti great again. Right? I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I know some people say, oh, it's mean, it's cruel. No, it's not. It's simply just protecting our country, is protecting our interests, is looking out for ourselves, understanding that, hey, we can't be a place where everybody that has a problem across the world should be able to come here to the United States of America. That's just not how it should work. Okay? A lot of these people, especially these men, you got to stay in your own country and you got to fix your own country up, right? That's the plight of a man, right? You got to fix your own country up. You got to make your country great. And, you can't do that, coming to the United States of America, fleeing. You got to stay and do what you got to do.
Federal leaders also say, quote, allowing Haitian nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is inconsistent with U.S. national interest.
We've been insisting that parents have a formal guardianship agreement with the individual in whose care they want to leave their children. That's one. And so many people, so many folks with TPS who've been in the United States since the Haiti earthquake of 2010 have become homeowners, business owners, have assets. And so we've been telling them too that they needed to make sure to take care of those.
Mentalist says for months they've been talking to organizations on the ground in the southern and northern regions of Haiti to welcome those who self-deport or are deported.
All of these organizations have networks, right? Partners, collaborators who are in Port-au-Prince and elsewhere throughout the country. So it's time to ensure that now we've got those quick alliances set.
And tonight we have local leaders who are also reacting to this announcement. Miami-Dade County Commissioner Marlene Bastien says she is outraged and that making a decision like this at a time when families are getting together for Thanksgiving is cold and heartless. She's calling on the Trump administration to reconsider their decision, partly because of the conditions she says those Haitians will face when they land in Haiti.
Well, I mean, again, that's their country. That's their home. Right? That's not our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to take care of everybody who's having some issues in their home country. It is what it is. Like, we can't take care of everybody. And we've taken in a lot of people over the past few years, and now it's time to send them back. That's why it's called temporary protected status. You're here temporarily. Okay? It's not called permanent, right? It's called temporary. Okay? But Democrats believe temporary equals permanent. And see, that's how they fool you. Right? They say, oh, well, it's temporary. It's not going to last that long. But what they actually mean is that, no, it's permanent. That it's going to be forever. And if you enforce the temporary aspect of why these people were allowed into the country, then, you're a bigot. You're hateful. You're racist. Okay? You are a xenophobe and all this other stuff that they claim. And it's not any of that. It's simply about protecting our own interests and understanding that everybody can't stay here. We don't have room. Okay? We don't. We need to use our resources on Americans, not people who weren't born here, who aren't from here, who don't assimilate into our culture. We can't do it. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I think that this unfortunate situation with the National Guard, with the guardswoman being killed and the other guardsmen still in critical condition, hopefully recovering, but, we're going to see. Thoughts and prayers are with the family and the victims. But I think that situation is a reminder of, again, what happens when you just let a bunch of people in this country unvetted. Yeah, this stuff happens, right? This is the result. And that's why we have to continue to crack down on it. And in the ideal world, Democrats would recognize this danger to the country. But instead, their own national television, their own BS now, boohoo, whining, crying about Trump's illegal immigration crackdown, right? Because apparently they're not okay with President Trump getting rid of people in this country who are from third world countries who aren't really adding anything positive to the country. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Look, certainly it's not the way I'd like to see a commander-in-chief and the leader of our country try to bring the nation together after this horrific incident. I mean, clearly we have had a horrible attack. I mean, losing anyone from the National Guard or military is horrific. Clearly, this needs to be investigated thoroughly. There is no question. Someone that received, of course, asylum just since President Trump here has been in office, clearly worked with the CIA. So this is someone that we had a lot of contact with, that we clearly worked very closely with. And so understanding what exactly happened before we jump to conclusions, I think is really critical.
We're not jumping to any conclusions, right? Even before this was necessary, right? So we're not jumping to any conclusions. This incident basically makes it more of a priority, right? But this is not jumping to conclusions. Why are all these people from these countries, right, in the United States of America? Why are we letting all these people from these third world countries in the United States of America? Okay. You know, if we're going to be letting people into the country, it has to be the best of the best from places that, again, are likely going to assimilate into our culture, right? We've let enough of these individuals in the country. It's time to now do something about it, right? And, you know, we're not jumping to any conclusions. We're just doing what needed to be done anyways. That's just the reality of the situation.
And our next guest has a warning for New York and the country about Zohran Mamdani. He calls Mamdani a Trojan horse for the Red-Green Alliance. We first introduced you to this alliance months ago on this show. It's two groups you'd think have very different philosophies, but they're united in their distaste for the West. The red is Marxism. The green is Islamism. The Middle East Forum describes it as, quote, an alliance of convenience between leftists, including progressive, socialist, and communist on the one hand, and on the other hand, Islamists, Muslims who actively pursue the political goals of Islam, such as Islamic supremacism, and the punishment of those non-compliant with Islam. Joining me now, the son of the founding Hamas leader, Mossab Hassan Youssef. Mossab, thank you for being with us here today.
The reality is that we have been invaded.
Virtually the entire current Muslim population in the U.S. came here after 9/11. In the 1990s, there were between 500,000 and 1 million Muslims in this country. That's it. Now there are more than 4.5 million.
Ούτε μετανάστες δεν τους πηδάνε. Πάτε εδώ και να τα μοιράσω όλα, θα δώσουμε και θα γυρίσω όσο γυρίσω, θα πέσω κατά κάτω, εντάξει. Δώσε, δεν δώσε ρε Είμαστε εδώ σήμερα στο Barbecue Party για να στείλουμε ένα συμβολικό μήνυμα σε όλες τις κατευθύνσεις ότι η Ελλάδα δεν θα χάσει την πολιτισμική της κουλτούρα σε όσο βάθος χρόνου και αν περάσει και θα παραμείνει η Ελλάδα. Η Ευρώπη θα παραμείνει Ευρώπη και ο ανθρωπισμός πλέον πρέπει να είναι για όλους. Όχι μόνο επιλεκτικός για κάποιους ανθρώπους που τους έχουν εκμεταλλευτεί κάποιοι και τους έχουν κάνει μπίζνα, αλλά ο ανθρωπισμός πρέπει να είναι για όλους και ειδικά για τους ντόπιους πληθυσμούς της κάθε χώρας.
The mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, wants a white resident to move out after voicing concerns about a road being named in honor of Osama Siblani, a journalist who has voiced sympathy for, get this, terrorist groups Hamas and Hezbollah. Watch this.
I mean, Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel that's quite inappropriate.
You are an Islamophobe, and although you live here, I want you to know, as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
What?
He's going to launch a parade when a white man moves out of Dearborn, Michigan. That is because the man who is speaking there is Ted Barham. He's a Christian resident in Dearborn, Michigan, which is now majority Muslim. And the sitting mayor, who's supposed to care about all of his constituents, not just the Muslim ones, clearly doesn't care. He clearly wants this to be a full majority, I would say. And the stance of the mayor is that if you don't support honoring a terror sympathizer, then you shouldn't even live in Dearborn, Michigan. Now, I am not anti-immigration by any means, but I am anti-immigration without assimilation. Because if these people want Americans to bend to their cultural standards, they need to remember what country they are in. This isn't a takeover. Immigration isn't supposed to be a takeover. They're supposed to want to come here and live here, uphold American ideals and values. This is not the American way. We are anti-terrorism, and that shouldn't be a controversial thing to say.
The Muslim population has more than quadrupled since 9/11. Now, on the other hand, guess what's happened to the Christian population in Iraq during that same period? Well, it went from 1.5 million Christians to around 200,000. Why is that? Well, they were ethnically cleansed. They were terrorized. They were killed. They were forced to leave. Meanwhile, some of our most important cities, the centers of our economy, were flooded with Muslims.
Free press, expectant mothers in Dearborn, you ready? To be getting $4,500. Mayor announces in state of the city. Do you know what this means? Watch this clip here. Go for it, Rob.
Oh, that's that guy.
Yeah.
If you had a baby as of November 1 or are currently pregnant, you are eligible for up to $4,500. I would just have to be a kid.
Dearborn RX Kids is finally here. We worked for this program for over 2 years, and if you're pregnant now, had a baby after November 1st, you're eligible.
Dearborn produces more babies per capita than any other city in Michigan, roughly 1,700 babies, which is why it's important that this program is live and well right here in the city of Dearborn.
We're no fans of a welfare state in America, and we are certainly no fans of an Islamic state in America. This is both of those combined. An Islamic welfare state in Dearborn? Hail to the nah, mashallah, no way.
Well, they're doing it.
And we were told to welcome these people and give them refuge from their third world hellholes because, after all, they're just as American as we are.
We have been invaded through the internet. The communist countries, North Korea, China, Russia, they have been working around the clock to flood our internet, our social media with their propaganda. So they paved the way. They created the climate for somebody like Mamdani to come and represent their ideologies.
Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again.
What?
This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
Next time your folks back home ask if NYC is safe, tell them that Zoran is here to enforce the law. Sharia law.
Goodbye, chopped cheese. Hello, chopped hands.
This is for selling beer.
In my New York, hey, women are walking here. Together, we can transform our city. Vote Zohran for Mufti. Whoops, I mean mayor! Paid for by Hamas and my mommy.
Now here in the United States, you're seeing kind of this rise of communism, of socialism.
Yeah.
Here in New York City, they just elected a Democrat socialist who himself has said, well, if landlords don't take care of people's rents, we're going to go in, or their apartments, we're going to go in and we're going to take over that apartment.
Yeah.
You lived in a socialist society. Mm-hmm. What would be your warning to people who advocate for socialism or who advocate for the revolutionary communist party here inside the United States? What's your warning to those people who think, oh, maybe socialism would be good?
Yeah, I think it's, I had to keep thinking about it. I mean, I voted this election this time, and obviously Mamdani still won. And I can't believe my fate that somehow I'm keep running towards like socialist government systems, right, whenever I escape. The young people really don't know how tyranny comes to them in America. They somehow tyranny comes with like a dark suit and guns and gonna come and tell them, I'm gonna enslave you.
Mhm.
Usually, tyranny comes in the name of compassion.
From the Bronx, New York, I'm voting for Zoran Mandani. Affordability, healthcare, free buses. His vision is what I envision for everyone in New York City.
As a single mother, I know how incredibly expensive childcare is, and I believe he is by far the best candidate to take on this crisis.
Affordability, free buses, free childcare. Zoran is fighting for our present and our future.
I'm telling all my friends and family, vote Zoran Mandani, #1.
Usually, tyranny comes in the name of compassion.
Well, folks, it turns out that New York's newest Prince of Palestine, aka King of the Communists, Lord Zoran, is not exactly who most of us have essentially been led on to believe that he is. Now, he has not shared much about his history, but what essentially he has stated is that he is an immigrant. He was born in Africa, and essentially he stands up for those who are poor, destitute, whom the system has left behind. Well, it turns out that he is pretty much no different than the other so-called communists who just so happen to be reaping the fruits of a capitalist society. You see, Lord Zoran was raised by a mother who made millions of dollars as a Hollywood producer, and a father who was one of the most celebrated professors at none other than Columbia University. Basically, what I'm getting to is this. Zoran was raised in the lap of luxury. And so he parades around pretending as if he is anything other than that in order to virtue signal his way into a position of even greater power and significance where he can play pretend savior.
And equality. They come and make these sweet, sweet promises of paradise. Like that's how North Korean regime began. The Kim Il-sung came to my grandmothers and said, look at the capitalists, they are so rich, and look at the peasants. Their children can't even get educated, and they cannot even be treated in the hospital. How about I create a society where everybody gets a free education, free healthcare, free housing, free food. And then we get rid of inequality because this is evil. And why would you not want that? It sounds so fantastic, right? Everybody live life with dignity. Nobody suffers from poor health. And people wanted that. So my grandmothers gave up their private property. They gave up freedom of speech. They gave up freedom of movement. They gave up all their rights to live in this paradise. But we know that when government took all their rights away from people, they did not create a paradise.
Even Castro realized that you can't learn on an empty stomach. So in 1962, he started giving everyone a monthly food distribution. All you need is one of these, a ration booklet. It gets you and it's all incredibly cheap. Sugar's a penny a pound, oil's less than 2 cents. Salt is practically free. In fact, the entire distribution costs about $1.20. That's 40 times cheaper than the open market. Though it's bring your own bag if you don't want to pay for one of his.
A few moments later.
Cigarettes were just taken off the distribution list, along with certain hygiene products, like toothpaste. Cubans now have to pay 2 days' wages for a brand name bar of soap, and almost as much for the local kind. It's not a high-tech system. Everything's still done by hand. But it seems to work. And he's extremely well organized. Unfortunately, the distribution only provides about half your necessary daily calories. And each year they cut it back even more.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. Bullshit.
The meat distribution across the street used to include fish, chicken, sausage, and sometimes eggs. Nowadays, if they have anything at all, it's blended soybean paste. Once they sell out, they just lock their doors until next month.
Do me a favor, take a look at this. If you take $500 from a worker and give $100 to 5 lazy people, you lose 1 vote but gain 5. It's the biggest pyramid scheme in history, and it's called socialism. Take $500 from a hardworking individual and hand $100 each to 5 people who don't do nothing. Now the worker, yeah, he's pissed. You just lost his vote. But the people you gave free money to, all of a sudden they become patriotic and they'll vote for you like you're paying their bills. 'Cause you are. That ain't compassion, that ain't fair, that ain't lifting up nobody. It's just a damn pyramid scheme. Call it what it is. And they got the nerve to call it helping the community. No, you're just buying somebody's loyalty with someone else's hard labor. A real system motivates people to contribute, build, and create. This is just creating more dependence. Because dependence is where the profit is at. If the only way a politician can stay in power is by keeping people broke and needy and looking for handouts, that's not a charity. That's a hostage situation. Yeah, so the meme got it right. Welcome to the biggest pyramid scheme in modern history. It's called socialism. And us hard-working Americans, well, they're trying to put us at the bottom.
Free this, free college, free medicine, free for everybody. Yeah, and who's going to pay for it? The government is not going to have money growing on trees, and the government doesn't make the money. The money comes from us, the workers.
It's not nice to be owned by government. And this is what happened now in America. And I see so many people wants to have free stuff, but they don't realize that to take in this free stuff, they're losing freedom. And this is so sad.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question. So I saw on the bus it said, and I see the sign that says fares required. I thought the buses were supposed to be free now, because, Mamdani just won.
That's funny. That's a good one.
When does that start?
That's never going to start.
Never going to happen?
That was fucking
all right, well, I want to say I appreciate what you do, my guy. All right.
There are not going to be free buses. There is going to be no freeze the rent. That is not going to happen. And then voters are going to say, again, I got lied to.
Back to the politics.
Yes.
Mandan.
Problem.
What? Problem? Break that down.
Because free ain't reality. Free buses, free grocery stores. You're seeing free childcare. It ain't free. Nothing's free in this world. And nobody should know that better than minorities in this country. Whether it's black or Hispanics. No one should ever fail to know that. What he means is the redistribution of wealth. Here's the problem with the redistribution of wealth in a capitalistic society. You can tax an extra 2% to caps. You can put an extra 11.5% to 15% on capital gains tax. But if you do anything that messes with small business owners, if you do anything that messes with big business owners, and they take their business elsewhere, how you going to pay the bills?
This 700 square foot 1-bedroom apartment will now cost Michael Markellos $17,494 in property taxes for 1 year.
This has put us in a tremendous financial bind because the building now has gone negative between all the bills.
Markellos and his mother own this 10-unit Lincoln Park apartment complex. Last year's tax bill for all 10 units combined was $23,674. But now look at this. The same 10 units are now $128,282 this year, up 440%.
What?
I was outraged. These are basically simple 1-bedroom apartments for people, college graduates who work downtown.
The majority of the annual increases are from the latest installment of tax bills just sent out at the beginning of December. The payment is due before the end of the year. And in just a few months, another installment of taxes will be due.
Merry Christmas and Happy Valentine's Day.
Markello says the only way to pay for the recent tax hike would be to raise the rent on the 1-bedroom apartments. The increase, he says, would scare renters away.
They have to go up to $5,000, $6,000.
What?
To pay all the bills.
And no one's going to pay that.
Not who in their right mind is going to pay for it.
Now, are y'all ready to listen? Now, are you all ready to listen to what Chicago Puts Red been screaming from the rooftop since you all opened your property tax bills? It's no use of burning your property tax bills. We definitely tried to warn you all about this. When Brandon Johnson proposed that $300 million property tax hike on us, and we fought those aldermen to not vote for that. If they would have voted for that, you think your property taxes are high now, they would have been maybe 1,000 or so more higher than they are now. We have been funding illegal aliens for some years now. Where do you think that money was going to come from? You think the Democrats, you think Pritzker and Brandon Johnson and your aldermen, everybody who voted to give that money to the 600 million and more to illegal aliens, you think they were going to come out their pocket and pay for it? We told you that. This at the end of this year, the fiscal year of 2025, we're projected to pay $2 billion for illegal aliens health care, for their food, for their housing, for their daycare, for them to have free everything. We are scheduled to pay that much in 2025. Where do you think that money coming from? Where do you think that money is going to come from? We told you in these meetings what they are doing with your money. They're taking your money and they're spending your money on illegal aliens to make sure they're funded free everything on your tax dollars, on your back. Look what the guy just said in the video. He had a 10 unit. He went from paying, and this is in 1 year, he went from paying $23,000 a year to $128,000 a year. And just in 1 year for property taxes. And I told you this is what they do. They rezone your property, and the Cook County Board reassess your property. So now it's when they say now it's not commercial, now it's not residential, and they play with these things like that, they're rezoning. We told you all this is what they do. And when they're talking about taxing these corporations are not going to eat that cost. Just like this gentleman said, that now he's going to have to go up on the rent because he's being charged more, which is going to fall on the consumer. That's what's going to happen with these corporations. Either these corporations, when they're being taxed, a head tax, and more taxes, it is not safe, they're going to, what's going to happen? They're going to go up on the prices of the items in their stores. That's it. Everything is going to fall on you, the consumer. This is just what happened. They're not going to eat that cost. Either they're going to go up on those prices, or they're going to leave. But either way it goes, you're going to be paying for that.
So Mandani exactly promised same thing that Kim Il-sung promised to my grandmother generation, saying it's evil, they are billionaires, and there are people who are poor, can't even afford the rent. Why don't I come in and make all free for you guys? And nothing is free in the world, nothing is free. So we have a huge issue because American education system have failed teaching these people about tyranny.
On the other hand, also we have Qatar, we have Arab oil countries, we have Pakistan, we have other Muslim countries that basically posing as white people, as Americans, and they have been spreading Islamic indoctrination through the Muslim Brotherhood, through other platforms. Now, the average American really does not understand the green and red danger. This is the job of the CIA, of the FBI, intelligence services. They understand this danger. Now, the new generation of Americans, they really don't know the history, the long war between capitalism, or let's say the United States, the West, against communism, and the real danger of such a model. Now, these two models, the Islamic and communist models, they're anti-American at their core. And they want to push America in the backseat. And they want to change the world order. This is what they are aiming to do. Now, the new generation of Americans don't see this bigger picture. They think that every other country is just like the American model, that people demonstrate their freedoms. They don't see that these two models are failing models. And at best, what they can offer is a tyranny, a dictatorship, a totalitarian system. They can never succeed in representing a transparent democracy. And to import such ideologies to the United States
quickly,
means...
So I just want to ask you this really quickly. I see that the two sides have a common cause in destruction of the West, Western civilization, the United States of America, even if they do have very different visions of what rises up from the ashes. But while you said a Trojan horse isn't necessary today, you still have described Zohran Mamdani as a Trojan horse. Explain.
Yes, well, basically, had he not used the Muslim and the socialist cards, I would have not mind. If he represented himself as an American first and as an American last, I wouldn't mind. But the thing is that he is using such dangerous ideologies that contradicts with the spirit of New York, posing as the savior of the city. Well, the city is perfect the way it is. It's a perfect city. It's the most advanced city in the world. Okay, every city has its own problems, but this is the jewel of the Western civilization, and there is nothing like it. So he's coming to pose as a Muslim who wants to save the West. From what? From what? This is his hypocrisy. If he really cares for his people, why doesn't he go and build the Muslim countries, you know, where it's failing, where there is barbarism, where there is nothing close to New York City or to the United States. But he's coming to something that's completely developed, and he's posing that he's going to integrate it into something greater.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people. We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
When it's time to go, you can choose how. You can wait for enforcement, or you can leave on your terms. The CBP Home app lets you self-deport with dignity, directly and securely. Don't wait. Decide how it ends.
Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president. Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president.
On the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, "Catch!" exclamation point.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Hey, let me shut down the city! We are at war!
We're at a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
But Michelle says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No.
With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick them.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store,
at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He's not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.